Oi! Today we're gonna learn about the present tense. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. To understand this lesson, let's quickly review what a verb and a tense are. A verb is a kind of word that tells us about an action or a state. It is the main part of a sentence. Here we have a few examples of verbs. Trabalhar, to work. Estudar, to study. Ser, to be. Querer, to want. And tense is the form of a verb that shows the time something happened or is going to happen. So if I told you, for example, I worked today, by saying worked, you understand that this action already happened. So it means that worked is the past tense form of the verb work. So now, what is the present tense and what do we express with it? So the present tense is commonly used to indicate facts, habitual actions, and unchanging situations, emotions, or wishes, right? So here I got a couple of examples. Eu trabalho todo dia. So that's a habit, right? My routine. Você estuda português toda sexta. Another habit. O céu é azul. That's a fact, right? Eu quero visitar o Brasil. That's a wish. Okay, so now we know what a verb is, what a tense is, and what we can express using the present tense. So now what do we have to do with Portuguese verbs in order to make a sentence in the present tense? We have to conjugate the verbs. In other words, change them to the present tense form. So for this conjugation, we are first going to get rid of their endings. So the AR, ER, or IR endings, alright? Starting with AR verbs such as trabalhar, estudar, caminhar, we are gonna get rid of their endings and add the following. Can you see? So how would you say I walk? Eu caminho. You walk. Você caminha. We walk. Nós caminhamos. And they walk. Eles caminham. Moving on to ER verbs. For instance, comer, escrever, beber. So we get rid of the endings and we add the following. So how would you say I drink? Eu bebo. You drink. Você bebe. We drink. Nós bebemos. And they drink. Eles bebem. And finally, IR verbs. For example, abrir, assistir, decidir. So we again get rid of their endings and add the following. So how would you say I decide? Eu decido. You decide. Você decide. We decide. Nós decidimos. And they decide. Eles decidem. All the verbs that follow these patterns are called regular verbs. And we have many regular verbs in Portuguese, but unfortunately we also have some irregular verbs, which are verbs that don't follow regular conjugation rules. So now let's practice what we learned today. So write a little bit about your daily routine in the comment section, okay? So here are a few expressions you might want to use in your text. So I want to know, for example, what time you usually wake up, what you do in the mornings, like when do you go to work, when do you go to school, what does your evening look like, okay? Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next lesson. Ciao!